I think we're under no illusions that they're going to have majority of possession in the game, as they do in most games they play. We watched them the other night against the Czech Republic. They had 65-70% of the ball. They keep it for long periods. I think we've got to expect that. Although we need to win the game, obviously, in our hands to qualify. But we have to go with a game plan of being cautious because they're such a great side. If we open up too much and go and try and take the game to Spain, then I think we'd get punished and we'd be out of the game fairly quickly. So I think in that respect it is going to be difficult. There's going to be long spells where we don't have the ball, but it's when we do have the ball, we'll have a game plan to how we can affect the match and how we can try and win the match.
Is this for you, obviously equivalent of a Champions League final? You've been unfortunate enough to not be able to play in the recent 3-1 that Manchester United have been. Is this as big an occasion as it gets?
It's a massive occasion because we're one game away from getting into the playoffs, and I think that'd be the aim at the beginning of the campaign. If things had gone away in other games, we might have been already in that position before tonight, and tonight would be irrelevant. I think everyone expected Spain to win the group, so we're still in the hunt for second place, and although people are maybe writing us off, well, there's still a chance. We'll keep believing.
Darren, these are two different games, obviously, but what are the major positives that you take from the game the other night into this one?
I think just the fact that we won. I think we'd like to have been more comfortable, and maybe if we'd have got that second goal and it had come earlier, it would have been a more comfortable night. But I think in terms of possession and things, it was a comfortable evening. Well, it's only 1-0, you give the opposition hope, and they had a couple of breaks second half, but I think in terms of the game we controlled it. And I think the biggest thing that comes out of the game the other night is that we won the match, and it puts us in second place just now, and it puts the pressure on the Czech Republic.
There appears to be two things about this squad: a great sense of camaraderie and also a great sense of relaxation. How important are those two?
I think the manager's installed that in us. I think that everyone wants to be here, everyone believes in the manager and his staff and what he's telling us, and we go into games he's tried to keep the same nucleus of squad together in all his squads. So I think with that you get consistency and the camaraderie as you spoke about, and we all believe that, and we're all desperate to get to major competitions. Everyone's pushing in the right direction.
And you sensed too, young Mikel Smith came in the night. He looked very vibrant, very lively, very active, and he held the ball well, scored the goal. People are champing on that door, wanting to be part of the squad by the looks of it.
Well, exactly. I spoke about before the last campaign, the last games, about the young players in the squad, and then and Goody came in and performed fantastically well against Lithuania, and Craig Mikel-Smith's come in. He's been in great form for Brighton. He's got his opportunity. Kenny was going to be a big miss, and he come in and stuck a claim for a place in the team, and that's what we want. We've got a squad now. We've got competition for places. I think you see that if you see the strength and depth on the bench, and if people do get suspended or injured, we've got players who are more than capable of coming in and replacing them, and as you say, putting strong claims to be starting.
Are you enjoying the role as an elder statesman?
Yeah, I do enjoy it, and it's great seeing the young lads coming to the squad like the manager's done, because it makes you feel young, and they give that youthfulness around the place, and they go and when they go on the pitch as well, we always keep reiterating to them to go and express themselves, go and enjoy themselves. There's no real pressure on the young lads. We always reiterate to them when they do go out and play, go and enjoy yourself, go and express yourself, and that's when you get the best out of them. Let the worrying be done by the older players, I think, and let them go and enjoy themselves.
How would you compare Spain to other international teams you've played against?
I think there's no questions that they'll be the best side we've played against. I think they're European and world champions, and look at their record. They've not been beaten in a long time in the European Championship campaigns. I think it'll be the best side that we've played against, definitely.
Craig has said it's ours to lose playoff spot. Do you agree with that?
Got to agree with the manager. Or else, no, I think he's right, but it's in our hands, I think, and that's what we asked for going into the last game. Hopefully Lithuania do us a favour as well, which would be nice.
What do you make of Fernando Torres? There's been a lot of speculation and talk about his form since the start of the season.
I think his form's been good since the start of the season. I think that he's looked hungry, I think he's looked aggressive, I think his performances have been good. Maybe he's not had the goals to come with that, but I think if you look at his overall performance, of me taking away the goals, I think he's looked dangerous, he's looked lively, he's looked hungry, maybe a little bit too keen at times when he's sending off, but I think that was just out of sheer determination to do well and to show people that he cares. And I think that even watching the game the other night, he did his role for the team, he kept the high line, he stretched the Czech Republic as much as he could and threatened them behind, which gives the space for the creative players to keep the ball in midfield. So I think he did a fantastic team performance as well, without maybe getting the rewards of a goal.
There's talk about Spain maybe changing 4 or 5 players, giving a player debut and what have you. Does that give us any more encouragement?
Maybe a little bit, because I know myself from experiences, when you change 5 or 6 players in a team, it does take a while to get that consistency, and you got new players coming in. But I think we're talking about world-class players, whoever comes in, so you've got that respect of it as well, and you've got the other aspect of they'll be desperate to do well. They'll be desperate to stake a claim for a place in the team. So there's both ways of looking at it. You'd like to think it might take them a while to gel together, and that'll be our benefit. But on the other hand, they'll be so keen and desperate to do well, and you're talking about world-class players that could make it even more difficult, if you see.
The basis of Spain's success has been built on their midfield. How does Scotland disrupt that, break that up?
I think it's more of a team. I think that although their midfield, everyone speaks about their midfield and how they keep the ball, that can only come if other components of the team do their job, like I spoke about before, like Fernando Torres keeping a high line, stretching teams. Their centre halves can play as well. I think it's not just their midfield. Everyone speaks about their midfield, and don't get me wrong, they are an important part of that. They have 90 to 100 passes a game, which is a real high average in world football. So us as a team will have to combat that. It's not just going to be the midfield against their midfield. It's going to be our whole team putting in a performance to match them and hopefully try and get a result.
Can you put into context how big an achievement it would be if Scotland can take a point or possibly 3 from this game?
It'd be a massive achievement, but I think speak about getting a point, it might be irrelevant if we get a point, because it might not be enough. So I think that although it would be a great result, it might not be enough, and we know going into the game that it's in our hands. If we win, we're in second place. We might lose and be in second place. We might draw and be not in second place. So it's going to be one of those nights. We can only try and do our best, and we'll give it everything going into the game. And I know that all the lads are looking forward to the match, and I think we've reiterated that not to go in there with a fear factor. Try and go and enjoy it, see it as a challenge, and I think that might bring out the best in us.
What were you doing at Hampden where you had Spain rattled in that last game?
I think it's different at Hampden. You've got the home crowd behind you. I think it's a totally different occasion. We've experienced that before at Hampden when we've got that crowd behind us, and they really do. They are like an extra man on the pitch. So this is going to be although by what I'm hearing, there's going to be plenty of Scottish fans here tonight. So it might be a case of like it was in Paris, where it's more like a home game for us.